Hello from Krakowa. It's a pretty gloomy morning. Maybe I don't even need these actually, but I am in Krakowa, the famous Polish city. I think it's well, certainly from what I saw in the square last night while I was having a quick wander around. Somewhere very popular with the English tourists. So I thought, let's head out of town a bit. I'm going to the slightly less well-known town of Gliwice. There's some sights I want to see. I want to try and get a Polish soup if I can. Try a nice traditional Polish soup, preferably a nice meaty one of some description. And perhaps most importantly, I've got a ticket to the game where they're playing Warta Poznan, the team of Gliwice, Piast. So join me on that adventure if you like. It's a lovely autumn evening here in Krakowa. Morning I should say. In fact, even though it isn't really that early in the grand scheme of things, I was the only person awake in my hostel when I left. So maybe maybe I'm wrong and it is in fact quite early, but other people are up. As I stroll through this park, and I'm just wondering, beyond the Googleable things that they tell you you're going to see in both Krakowa and Gliwice, what exactly I'm going to see. I'm very intrigued about that. So I've got to hop on the train. It's about an hour and a half journey, and then I'll be in Gliwice, head to the game, because it's like a 12:30 CET kickoff, which is I think the earliest I've ever been to. I don't normally fancy the early kickoffs even in England where I live, so it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't say I'm particularly au fait with Polish football, so this will be an exciting experience for me. So feel free to join me on that journey. It's starting to brighten up a bit, and look at the walk into the station. It's lovely. These green pillars. Nice autumnal Polish tree. I love it. The station looks going to be pretty modern as well, but I'm in a bit of a hurry. I mean, I should make the second train, even if I'm the first one now, which is nice at least. So let's get a move on. Okay, so the good news is I managed to get my bilet in plenty of time. Well, no. The bad news is the train left without me, so I'm now forced to kill a good hour and a bit. So I'm going to find a nice cafe, get a pastry of some kind, hopefully a nice Polish coffee, wait the hour or so out, and then we'll see what happens after that. I don't know why I didn't walk a little quicker, I guess is the lesson here. So yeah, that's very frustrating, but what can you do? I'm gonna have to get a move on when I get there now, which is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to take my leisurely time, have a good look around Gliwice, but I guess I have to do that afterwards now. No problem really, but it would have been nice. So let's go and find that. Don't need that one anymore. Guess let's go and find that. It's a breakfast spot. There we go. That's after English. All right, sweet. No joy, unfortunately, so I had to settle for Starbucks. But it's very nice at least. I think the house is fairly reasonable as well for what it was. So here we are in a the shopping mall next to the train station. I think it might be connected actually. Get a bit lost on the platform. But yeah, I've got a little bit of time left to kill, and then I'll be off to Gliwice. Very excited. There's some stuff I really want to see there. It's a very interesting looking place, but from what the internet's telling me anyway, so we'll see in due course. Here I am, trekking my way through Gliwice. As you can sort of see if you just look around, not quite as well. Blimey, not quite as well looked after as Krakow, let's just say. I really enjoyed the train ride though. I think intercity rail outside of England is very, very enjoyable from all my experiences anyway. All the little tucked away cabins, you got the sort of the train version of an air hostess as well. So going to a train bridge. It's very enjoyable. I got to see lots of forest, but I think the thing that stuck out to me the most was sort of all the random abandoned buildings and how a lot of them had graffiti of the Gliwice, sort of the city in between Krakow and Gliwice. Of course, we're in the second division, but there were tons of graffiti badges all over buildings. There was even just like an apartment that looked like it had people living in it, just ultras Gliwice, which I thought was quite interesting, given that this is obviously it's the bigger team. But I'm visiting today the top flight team, who clearly are not quite as popular as Gliwice around these parts, which for me at least is quite interesting. You don't really see bits like this, or certainly I haven't in Krakow. So I'm just strolling up to the ground there. It's about a 20-minute walk. I'm really getting my miles in here, behind me. Just want to check in with that and just say that I'm not as... I mean, it's a lovely place, don't get me wrong, but it's not... it's nowhere near as pristine or grand as Krakow, let's just say that. There's a man with taking care of the garden outside the shopping centre. It's quite a nice day though. It's nice and warm. You know, I think all the images of Poland from England are always quite cold, snowy. But you know, it's November, and we had a little bit of rain yesterday, but I've definitely not seen any snow. Just outside the Gliwice, as I'm going to call it. I do really love the colours. There's the bus as well. I do really love the combination of red and blue. I think it's really classy. You see all the people with their scarves and their jumpers coming in. It's a lovely colour combination. So I've got no choice really but to root for the home team. Just a quick bit on the side themselves. They are doing okay. I think they're 6th at the moment. Could obviously go higher with a win today, but it's just really interesting because they were a club that really rose to my interest, if no one else's, in the 18-19 season, where out of nowhere they won the league, their first ever trophy. They won the Ekstraklasa that season, beating giants like Lech Poznan and Legia Warsaw. They are playing a team from Poznan today, but it's not Lech. It's a team called Warta, who are newly promoted, and they're not doing very well. So I do expect a comfortable win for Piast today. So we'll see. I'm also interested to see how full the ground is. I've seen quite a few people pouring in, so I'm hopeful we might get a good atmosphere. All right, I'm going to head in now and let you know how it goes on the other side. A bit of a disaster already. Well, not a disaster, but just an inconvenience. I seem to have bought a ticket that is on the complete other side to the entry without really knowing too much about it. Not quite the disaster I had away at PSG, where I ended up having to walk a hell of a long way past the segregated away fans to get in, but still not more legwork not welcome, let's say. You know, I still hopefully I can get a drink and a seat in good time, catch the end of the warm-up. So let's carry on. Well, there it was, a very big upset indeed at the Piast Stadion, or the Gliwice to you and me. You know, Piast had a lot of the ball. They We're creating very little with it though. And then with about 10 minutes to go, Adam Zedrik struck a sweet half volley over the Piast goalkeeper. So it was a win for the third bottom side, Warta Poznan, in Gliwice. Something I definitely did not expect, given the last two games that Warta were involved in were a 3-3 draw with Jagiellonia Bialystok, and before that a 4-1 victory here over the champions Legia Warsaw. So I guess it really does just go to show, in football you just never know what you're going to see. It's 1-0 to Warta Poznan here. Now I'm going to go and see some of the sights of Gliwice, so join me if you like. So here it is, the Gliwice radio tower, Poland's answer to the Eiffel Tower. Well, not entirely. This is one of the largest wooden structures in the world. It's absolutely huge. I mean, look at it. And it's all made of wood, which is crazy. And it was an important part of the false flag attack that the Germans instigated in 1934, and it was also one of the key weapons once the German occupation of Poland took place. A lot of espionage occurred using this tower from the Nazis, and it's quite an impressive structure if you look at it all by itself, made entirely of wood, as I said already, and still functioning today apparently. So I'm not sure if you can. I'm not sure which stations are used for this tower, but if you tune your Polish radio to the right station, then you can check in some tunes that are being played and beamed off of this phenomenal structure. So look at it again, surrounded by a very nice garden. And I think that sums up my experience of Poland so far. Just that everything has been so beautiful. The wildlife, the more rural areas. That's the way to phrase it. The women as well are absolutely stunning. The vast majority. I can't get my head around it. It must be something in the water, but. Yes, I've thoroughly enjoyed myself so far. The match wasn't fantastic, but you know, when you get to see stuff like this, you know, it makes the train journey to Gliwice all the more worth it. So now I'm going to try and find some traditional Polish soup to sort of bulk up for the day, as I don't know when my next sort of decent meal time is going to be. You know, this lovely low sun that we have here still up, so I'm going to try and get busy before I have to head back to the airport to collect a friend of mine. So yeah, I mean, let's just hope for the best really. One last look at the tower. Wow, quite something, eh? So I think that brings an end to my trip in Gliwice as I sit down at a very I guess sparse, it's the word I'd use to describe this bus stop. Looking straight at the train station. It's quite a nice colour for a train station actually, to give it credit. So I guess I better reflect on what I made of Gliwice. Would I come back? I thought it looks to me like a pretty good place to live. I mean, I've walked past pretty much everything I'd ever want. There's a football stadium here, a train station that goes to all the big cities. I mean, you could go to Berlin on a train from here. That's a pretty good day trip you and the family could take if you wanted. There's plenty of food on offer, and a couple of nice cathedrals and parks I saw. There's also the radio tower. So yeah, I think it's definitely somewhere that you'd consider living. As for whether I'd come back or not, I'm not too sure. The vibes weren't quite right for me. I tried to talk to a couple of people. No one seemed to be able to speak English apart from people that were trying to sell me stuff. So I mean, make of that what you will. But I guess that's the end of my time here in Gliwice as I head back to Krakow, which I can't help but sort of put on a Russian accent while saying, even though Polish people don't really speak like that. Oh, man, that's good. Also only got beeped at once for jaywalking. I didn't really jaywalk. They turned very early and the man had only just gone red when this bus beeped me, and I thought it was a bit out of order, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, so Gliwice, it was fine. It was fine. Now I'm gonna have the hour and a half train journey back to Krakow. Maybe. Oh yeah, the soup journey was also a failure. I couldn't find all of the places that sold food were like hot dogs and burgers here. Nothing traditional whatsoever, and I thought I'd have a better chance here than in Krakow, to be honest, just because of it being a tourist place. I thought that's where you get your kebabs and your burgers and your hot dogs and all your touristy food that us foreigners just love to munch on. But yeah, no luck here either. I don't know whether there'll be something for me in Krakow or not. Time I guess will tell. I'm going to definitely try and have a sit-down dinner tomorrow at a traditional Polish restaurant, because all I've eaten since I've got here is a kebab, Starbucks, and then a hot dog at the football ground. And then I just bought myself a Kit Kat because it was like 1.5 zlotys, which is barely anything. So I thought, well, if Lidl are going to offer me that, I'm going to take it up. But yeah, that's it from me. Obviously, if I see anything cool on the train back, I'll try and catch it. But other than that, goodbye.